In from Bernardeschi. Ronaldo! The top Messi got there. It's a wide open.
For some 40 years, hundreds, perhaps thousands of young women have been drugged, raped, and beaten across dozens of UK cities by men belonging to so-called grooming gangs.
They're gangs of men who groom young teenage girls and abuse them for sex and end up, in some cases, imprisoning them and passing them around lots of other guys and lots of other people, even selling them for sex. And these girls get abused for many years.
The problem not only continues, it's getting worse. December 2020, British authorities charged 32 men in a grooming gang with 200 sexual exploitation offenses against 8 girls, some as young as 13.
Arrests and prosecutions have happened around 40 different cities across the country. In one or two cities, we know there's at least 1,000 victims. So that's many thousands of victims, and many of these victims have been raped and abused by more than one abuser as well. So the scale of the problem is massive.
Most perpetrators convicted so far are reportedly Muslim. The majority of their victims are white.
Hill said it was made clear to her by her attackers that because she was white, a non-Muslim, a virgin, and didn't dress modestly, that she deserved to be punished. She was reportedly raped over 100 times and endured what she says was religiously sanctioned sexual violence and torture.
Sweden is struggling to accommodate 165,000 people who have applied for asylum there amid the refugee crisis. Now, in a reversal of its open-door policy, the government says as many as half could face deportation. A growing right-wing reaction to the migrant influx has fueled tensions. From Stockholm, special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports.
Muslim area, okay? Alcohol, bad. This is a Muslim area.
We have to get out of Bradford as soon as we can and never look back, actually, because our lives are not safe. And this has been allowed to go on for far too long, actually, where say we are not comfortable living here with my wife and my children who are all equally traumatised, and so we just have to vacate as quick as we can and never look back. But again, you never think that it would happen in a so-called democratic, free country such as ours.
It's really bizarre and it's quite scary to come to this. We leave our home and live in Bradford.
After collecting their belongings today, the family have now moved to a safe house provided by the British Pakistani Christian Association. It's now set up a snatch squad, in its words, to rescue other threatened Christian converts, so-called apostates.
Lurking close at hand who wish to destroy all that is Australian and our freedom.
In each city where there was a protest, counter-demonstrations were almost as large. Australia is not having a crisis, but the protests are a sign of fear and growing discontent. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.
In history, over the last few years, more than 2 million foreigners have arrived in Poland. They're mostly Christian from neighboring Ukraine. So are migrants okay so long as they're not Muslim? Well, to answer that, we're joined by Polish MP 𝓒𝓗𝓝𝓘𝓢𝓣𝓡𝓨 from the ruling Law and Justice Party. He's also the Vice President of the European Conservatives Group in the Council of Europe. Dominic, is that it? 2 million Ukrainians are okay, but not one Muslim, because that's just how you guys feel about it?
Good evening, Imran. Thank you for having me. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with Islamophobia. It's all about safety. As I said previously, everyone is allowed to apply. Everyone is allowed to submit the documents, ask for a permission, ask for a visa, and then our interior minister will decide if he's needed for our society. The difference between immigration and refugees as a legal difference. You are mixing words. It's very important because the difference is quite big. First of all, refugee is the person who flees to the first safe country by the international law. Immigrant, especially illegal immigrant, is not welcome in Poland. This is what we promised, and these words will be kept. Basically, we are not talking about people who are in need. We are not talking about Muslims. We are talking about a law, international law and Polish law. We don't want any illegal migration in Poland. This is what we promised. This is why our government was elected, and not even one Muslim illegal migrant will come to Poland, ever.
What do you mean by safety? Why is safety connected to Muslim? Explain that to me.
First of all, that's very clear, very simple. In Germany, over 200,000 of so-called refugees just vanished, disappeared. Nobody knows who are they, where are they, and what are they going to do. Nobody knows. 200,000 people. Can you imagine how many people is that? It's just crazy. So this quota system, which was offered by Germany, failed, as we know, and this is against our safety in Europe. This is very huge issue. First of all, I'm talking about the terrorist attacks committed by radical Islamists. I couldn't hear very strong words from imams who would condemn this kind of attacks. That's number one. Rapes in Sweden, hidden for 13 months. I'm talking about the youth festival, where girls were raped by illegal Muslim migration immigrants. And
you're saying it has nothing to do with Muslims, but then you're saying
Germany,
Muslims are terrorists and Muslims are rapists.
Where people were raped as well, and that was hidden.
Right. Okay, but again, you're saying it has nothing to do with Muslims, but
of
Muslims are rapists and terrorists.
But these cases,
right.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true. But these cases are committed by illegal Muslim migration, okay, which was proven by the police in Sweden, in Germany, in France, in many other countries.
Okay, so Dominic, let me take your logic then. And if I have to look at the biggest terrorist attack that has captured the international imagination in recent times, the Christchurch mosque attack, or mosque attacks, right? Carried out by someone calling himself a Christian, right?
And the difference, I
So
think
would you
the difference
accept
between
that-
us,
Okay, so
all
is
the
there-
Western world
Okay,
condemned this attack.
Okay, what I'm asking you, Dominic, right? Has Poland had a history
Yes.
of problems with Muslims? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No, not
How
at all.
many Muslims are in
Not
Poland?
at all. Imran, listen to me, listen to me. I'm talking about the wave of illegal migration, which started in 2015. Not about religion, but it's linked to the religion and radical Islamists. How many terror attacks were committed by Christians in the name of the religion? How many were them were shouting, Christ is the Lord? None. Zero. And every single committed by the Muslim is followed by Allah Akbar.
Yes,
That's the fact.
Okay,
and the difference
this is,
between
again,
criminals,
it's the association
Christian
you're
criminals,
making with...
is that they are not committing it in the name of the faith.
Subhanallah, semalam ada yang bertanya pada saya di Kalibata City waktu saya ngisi taklim di sana. Ustadz, bagaimana pendapat Ustadz bila ada orang-orang Nasrani yang mengatakan Islam itu diekspansi dengan pertumpahan darah, dengan jihad? Dan bagaimana pendapat Ustadz juga dengan masalah poligami? Mereka menghardik masalah poligami. Itu subhanallah, saya bicara hampir 45 menit mungkin hanya menjawab pertanyaan ini. Waktu itu saya bilang, kalau seandainya ada orang Nasrani, Yahudi, semua orang kafir yang mengatakan kepada Anda Islam dikembangkan, diekspansi dengan perubahan darah, katakan iya. Memang iya. Karena banyak orang Islam, subhanallah, kayak orang yang ketakutan kalau dikatakan Islam itu disebarkan dengan pedang. Saya katakan ikhwas sekalian, memang Islam dikembangkan dengan pedang. Awalnya dari jihad. Banyak orang subhanallah menganggap takut kalau mengatakan Islam disebarkan dengan perubahan darah. Memang benar. Tapi kita fitnah lagi. Tapi kita fair, datang, menawarkan Islam, nolak, baru kemudian ya kita bayar jizyah, kalau nolak baru perang. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Karena itu asasnya jihad, kata Nabi SAW, siapa yang berperang ya untuk meninggikan kalimat la ilaha illallah, dia akan masuk surga.